Welcome to my channel, and I'm here with you once again with another video of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And today I will again try to keep it very short and crisp and to the point. I'm going to actually take you through the startup procedures for the Boeing 787 using the assisted checklist. Just remember one thing: if you're new to the Microsoft Flight Simulator, remember one thing, that if you want to start your plane from the cold and dark state, you have to start your flight from the gates. If you start your flight from the runway, then obviously the plane will be in actually the up and running position, and you cannot start the plane from the cold and dark state. All you have to do is that turn off the engines and then start it again. Anyhow, I have selected the Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, which is the default plane in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which comes with it. You don't have to purchase it or get it from some other third party. For this video, I will be using Islamabad International Airport, which is OPIS, and I will be starting from gate 9. Let's go, and I will just take you through the settings as well. From where you can just go and turn on this option. This is something really exciting that I've discovered. Can be useful for the beginners who really don't understand the overhead panels and all the switches and all the buttons in the cockpit, because initially when I was trying to learn the startup procedure, it was very difficult for me, and it has taken me a lot of time to understand. And plus thanks to the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which had this assisted option in it, and with the help of that I can now start the plane from the cold and the dark state. So here we are at the OPIS, and let's first of all go and look at the settings. So press escape and go to the assistance options. Right now on your screens you can see that I'm using true to life settings, and everything is set to hard except for the navigation aids, where I am using the taxi ribbon for the taxi. It's very difficult for me to just taxi through the taxiways after the landing or before the takeoff, so that's why I have turned this option on. And plus in the piloting you can see that the custom option is on, because I am using the assisted checklist for this videos. Obviously when I'm flying the plane, I don't use the assisted checklist. Either for Airbus A320 I know the procedures completely, and I have a checklist for that, and same as for the Boeing 787 and 747. So let's move on, and before you proceed you have to turn this option on, and this will be a very short video which will give you a quick go through of the checklist. Okay, so here is the checklist, and here is the cockpit of the Boeing 787. You see 3 pages. One is before starting the engine checklist, then starting the engine checklist, and after starting the engine checklist. Let's get to the first page. And over here, if you are new to the Flight Simulator, you're doing it for the first time, remember that if you click on any of the options, let's say you over here you have to turn the battery switch to on. There's this option with an eye, and you can find this button on the cockpit over here. You have to turn it on, and that's it. So it's a simple and easy procedure. If you want to follow the checklist like this, you can do it on your own, and it will give you a very nice walkthrough of the checklist. Now let's get back, and let me show you a quick and easy way of doing this. Now, because the assisted checklist option is on in the settings, you can see that there is this option autocomplete page. So what if I click this? And now you can see that all the systems are now up and running, and the system is waiting for the APU generator to start. APU is actually the auxiliary power unit, which is the built-in generator in the plane. So once you're about to go for a pushback and start the engines, you have to turn on the APU so that you can disconnect the plane from the external power, that is the GPU, ground power unit. You can see external power on available if available. So once on the runway, you will turn on the engines, and now the APU generator is stable. So these are the buttons. If you want to manually do it, they are here, but otherwise you can use the auto checklist. Okay, So number 1, number 2 page. So let's now start the engines. I'll just jump out of the cockpit and I will show you the engines are off and they are not up and running. Here you can go and see. Okay, so the engines are, both of the engines, engine 2 and 1, are in the off position. So let's get back into the cockpit and let's go here and autocomplete this page. And you can see that this option automatically set the throttle to 0, and then both the engines are now up and running, and you can see, and just wait for the engines to stabilize. This is one thing you have to remember. Let's jump out of the cockpit and let's see what's the condition of the engines. So both engines are now up and running, and we will just wait for the engines to stabilize. A good option. A nice view, by the way. I'm just loving the view. Nowadays I'm using the ultra settings for the graphics in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and details are amazing. Just look at the reflections on the lower part of the plane, of the GPU and the tug. It's beautiful. It's really nice. Okay, let's get back into the cockpit and let's see if the engines have stabilized or not. You have to wait for the engines to stabilize these numbers. They should be stable, and then you can proceed further from here. Let's see. Okay, now the engines are stable. You can see, okay, the numbers are stable. It means the engines are stable, and all you have to do is this APU selected, turn it off, and lights on, and autocomplete page, and that's it. So the APU is now off, and you can see all the lights are on. So it's a very easy procedure. So if you want to have a very quick flight and you want to start from any gate and you want to go through the pushback procedures, this is a good way to do that. Otherwise, if you want to repeat the checklist by yourself, it's really good. This option is also there. I hope this was a useful video for you, and just telling you, this is for the beginners, not for somebody who's been flying planes in the flight simulator. If you've got any questions, do ask me in the comment section, and plus if you have got any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I keep on uploading different videos of Microsoft Flight Simulator and Explain 11, so you'll be getting the updates for that. Thank you very much for staying with me. Hope to see you soon.